Live from CNN Center in Atlanta, this is Headline News. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Stephen Frazier.
And I'm Andrea Thompson. Glad to have you with us. We begin this half hour with more grisly discoveries in North Georgia. The decision to begin the midnight dawn patrols came as a result of two disturbing trends.
So far, in her first 4 months, Thompson has covered everything from wildfires to traffic problems.
City officials say they do have the power to inspect this property and order the owner to clean up his act.
What it is that I want to do and what I get to do is to go and tell stories every day, to talk to people every day, to try to affect social change. That's the beauty of being a member of the press.
A man in Washington state knows how to get ahead in advertising. He's auctioning ad space on eBay on the back of his shaved head. A hot little dish in New York has gotten the attention of the makers of a certain little blue pill. Pfizer is threatening to sue a couple of trendy New York restaurants if they don't stop selling a seafood dish called Viagra Ceviche. The dish contains mussels, shrimp, and clams, but no Viagra. The head chef at one of the restaurants says its name sprang from its, quote, uplifting side effects, but Pfizer says there's nothing funny about the name, and it's promising harsh penalties if it isn't changed. Now, General, speaking of who's left, how is it possible that such a large number of al-Qaeda fugitives or Taliban fugitives were able to gather near Gardez, especially since that's where there's a U.S. Special Forces base, just right nearby there? How were they able to pull that off?
The distances are deceiving in this operations from inside the cave.
And this is where this offensive becomes inherently so much more dangerous, because U.S. troops will have to go in there and clean this out. Already, the Afghan alliance troops, and Hamid Karzai have shown no interest in going in, cleaning up those troops, looking for Mullah Muhammad Omar.
You know you're a big guy.
Yes, ma'am.
You're 6'7", and your girl is like 5 foot, I think, if that, and probably about, what, 100 pounds or so?
Yes, ma'am.
Most people are going to look at the disparity in size and say, you know, there's no way that she could ever have a physical encounter with this man. Did it ever go through your head to hit her?
No, ma'am.
We're getting late word tonight that a gunman has opened fire at a restaurant in Tel Aviv. There are reports of at least 13 people being wounded. Police are saying the attacker was apparently shot and killed. An offer tonight to help end the violence. Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak is asking Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon and Palestinian Authority President Yasser Arafat to join him for a secret summit meeting. Kathy, Sean Harding has spent years of his life in institutions. He and his family fight daily with his illness. And these charges are further evidence of Sean's struggle to find a place in society. Sean Harding lives in the complex and puzzling world of schizophrenia.
I think the world is in Sean's head.
Keep the window open. I keep them open all winter. At least this much. Keep them open all winter.
Schizophrenia is the most chronic and disabling of the major mental illnesses.
It's constant talking and hallucinations.
There is no single known cause and no cure.
Well, if there was a good program, I would have been in it by now.
His mother looks back through time, trying to make sense of it all.
Slept through the night. He was cuddly, lovable, very seldom cried.
By the age of 4, Sean was taking Ritalin. Careless taunts by other children wounded him.
Sean, go take your mental pill. And I think to this day, that's embedded in his head.
His isolation increased as his illness deepened. By the age of 12, he had reached a crisis.
And I found him out there with a rope around his neck, standing on a box.
Marianne makes no excuses for Sean's assault of a young girl at the fast food restaurant where he worked.
I do not condone what my son did. If I had a daughter, I would be very angry. But the point is, he never should have been amongst children. My biggest worry now is what is going to happen to him if something happens to me.
It's not all stick at the Department of Justice. There's a carrot, too. The Attorney General is dangling U.S. visas out there, saying people from other countries who want to come to America or stay here can do that by giving the U.S. credible information about suspected terrorists. John Ashcroft says the initiative, dubbed the Responsible Cooperators Program, does not signify the terrorism investigation has hit a dead end. He says it only underscores how committed the U.S. is to preventing more attacks. It's been phenomenal to be here because I've gotten to see all different aspects of news and work with a group of professionals who know what they're doing.
Kind of lucky.
Very lucky. Very lucky. And believe me, I know it.